Good morning, everyone. I absolutely have the toughest job following Sheila with such inspirational words. I'd like to begin by just saying thank you to Sheila. Sheila, that speech was amazing, and especially so because it was from the heart, and it reminds us why we do what we do. And we know that an investment in Year Up is an investment in real lives, and that these lives are going to continue to change the world. So thank you, Sheila. I'd also like to recognize a number of guests that we have in the room, colleagues in government and leadership in the organization. I'd like to recognize Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea, General Treasurer Seth Magaziner, Mayor of Central Falls James Diosa, Providence Councilwoman Sabina Matos, Central Falls Councilwoman Stephanie Gonzalez. Thank you also, Gerald, for your inspirational keynote speech and for giving birth to this movement. Thank you to Kathy Doyle for being such a strong leader for this great organization. And I ask everyone in the room to please join me in giving a strong round of applause also for the former executive director and new president of CCRI, Megan Hughes. Megan, you've already changed so many lives, and I look forward to working with you in partnership to see how we can work together to change and impact more. I'd like to once again say congratulations to Sheila Dos Santos. And I'd also like to take a moment to recognize my mentee in Year Up, Major Petaway. I had the great honor to become Major Petaway's mentor when I randomly ran into him at an event. And he told me that he was involved in the Year Up program. And, I've always thought so highly about this program, so I was, instantly very taking. And he just asked me that during that meeting, he said, "Mayor, will you be my mentor?" So something struck me about that. And I said, absolutely. It's not easy for a young person to come across the mayor of the city at a social function, engage the mayor in a conversation, and then ask them to make a personal commitment to them. And what I learned from that very first conversation was that Major is a great leader. Major is a great leader who's not afraid to take risks and who's willing to push himself. And over the past year, I've gotten to know a young man who I've come to admire, and in a lot of ways has come to inspire me. So, Major, I want to say congratulations. It's been great serving in this capacity over this past year. I look forward to seeing your continued growth, and I look forward to being this mentor and a good friend to you as you continue to grow. Thank you. So I'd like to begin by talking a little bit about Year Up. Now, I was never a part of Year Up. Year Up didn't exist when I was in college, but I do have to admit that I do feel a connection to Year Up and to Year Up graduates. You see, my story, I believe, is very similar to the story of so many Year Up students. When I graduated from high school, I barely skated by. And when I graduated, I got rejected from every single college that I applied to. So I was at a crossroads in my life, not knowing exactly what my next move or what my future would look like. And I'm standing here today because I had programs such as the EOC program at CCRI and the Talent Development Program at the University of Rhode Island. I'm standing here because I had programs that believed in me more than I believed in myself at that stage in my life. And I think that that's the case, and that's true for so many Europe students. You know, we see plain as day when we hear from Europe students that they have all the potential in the world. But sometimes, when you're not connected to those opportunities, even if you believe in yourself, it's hard to really see that bridge, see that connection between that God-given talent that you have and that potential that you can reach in the outside world. And that's exactly what Europe does. It's that bridge, it's that connection, and it's that inspiration that makes us each believe that we can one day be great. And so I feel this connection to Europe, and I'm so proud to be a strong supporter. But I also want to say thank you to every single person in this room, because if there's one thing that we've learned from this example of Europe, is that every single one of us has a role to play. Whether we're employers, whether we're mentors, whether we're administrators, we're parents, whether we're students, brothers or sisters, whatever it might be. We all have a role to play in opening doors and opening opportunities. And I just want to be clear in terms of opening doors and opening opportunities. You know, many of us, all we're asking for, we're not even asking for the door to be opened wide open. All we need is a little crack. Just crack that door open for us, and we will show the talent and the potential that we have, and we'll take it the rest of the way. And I do believe that that's what every single one of the Europe graduates has done and are prepared to do. So to each one of the Europe graduates, as you prepare to go off to your jobs, to university, or to other opportunities, I'd like to share with you just a couple of words of advice. Something that I've learned in my life is that sometimes we limit ourselves. Perhaps not purposefully, we don't know why, but we think perhaps we can reach this goal. I had a conversation with Major a while ago, and it came up that perhaps at some day in the future, some point in the future, Major might be interested in going into politics. And I mean this in full sincerity. If Major or any other graduate, if you're thinking that one day you can become mayor of the city of Providence, I tell you, don't set your sights so low. And I truly mean that. The talent and the capacity that each one of you have here in this room, there is no limit to it. But to realize that capacity, you have to dare to dream, and you can't be afraid to fail. It's often said that success is based upon experience, and experience is based upon failure. And so you have to learn, and you have to continue to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Because if you show me someone who has never slipped, who has never failed, I'll show you someone who has never pushed themselves beyond that comfort zone and hasn't realized their true potential. So push yourself beyond that comfort zone. And as you do, I have no doubt that you're going to go off and become great leaders here in Providence, here in the state, and throughout society. But as you go off, I also want you to remember, where you come from. And just know that you are here because of your talent and your determination. But the truth is that no one does it alone. Everyone in this room is here because there are folks who have come before us, who have believed in us, who have invested in us. And to the Europe graduates, you will soon, sooner than you might imagine, find yourself in a position where you can open those doors for the next generation. And the continued success of programs such as these, the success of you as individuals, and the progress of us as a community will depend on whether you're continuing to open those doors behind you and leave them open just as you have walked through them. So dare to believe, dare to be great, don't forget where you come from. To the class of, well, to the 21st Year Up graduating class, I want you to know that I am proud of you, your city is proud of you, your family is proud of you, the Year Up community is proud of you. Now go out and change the world. Thank you so much.